Continuing from Muncie Elementary School, I've made it over to the Bakersfield City School District main office for my complaint because the school principal told me that I did not have a right to make a complaint because I wasn't a parent and I was not a faculty member of the school. However, that school is a place of public and tax dollars pay for that school, even though there's a level of confidentiality for the kids. However, it is still a place of public. So confidentiality is, yes, at the utmost, but the Constitution and everything else is not thrown out just because it is a school. I still have rights. I still have rights under ADA. I have the right to make a complaint against any government or public employee or official that has wronged me or I feel that I've been wronged by. I have a constitutional right to make a complaint, which I have been denied clearly by the principal in the last video. She did not want to hear it with all of that weird face paint on, looking like the clown that she was. Well, I won't say was, the clown that she is. And this is after her with the parent just a little while ago. You know, a few weeks ago. Couldn't have been a month. It was after the Christmas vacation. But I get treated like garbage today because of this employee ran to the principal before I could come in and tell her my side of things. He already told her that's all she wanted to hear. So now we'll take it to the district level with their employees' cars parked in the handicap spots and stuff. So regular people like me can't park cars. They got all this space in employee parking. They're want to park in handicap zones out front. So parents can't come to the district. They have to park around the corner and down the street. Same thing as at the school. Yes, ma'am. I somewhat feel welcome here. However, I have a very, very serious complaint against Muncie Elementary School under ADA. I'm the gentleman that went by ambulance from their campus a few weeks back. Changed. I've been accosted by the staff on the campus. My wife started off as one of the volunteer CalWorks workers, and now she's been placed somehow through the district at the school. I was told because I was accosted by one of their staff members that because I'm not a parent and I'm not an employee, that I could not make a complaint, which I know is not true because that is a public school and she's a public employee. I know you can't film because of privacy with children and stuff like that. However, that is still a public principality and they have someone to answer to us. Yes, ma'am. She violated my constitutional rights and I'm very upset. And so did he. Him and his brother were my pastor, and I'm going straight to the board on this because they almost cost me my life on that school campus, and for them to still be doing the things that they're doing, and their staff security or whatever the guy is supposed to be, the little yard safety guy, is doing some real bad stuff, and then he runs to the principal before the parent or the person could say anything, and he tells his side, so she don't want to hear anything, and it's clear that she's standing by her employees.
Okay.
Thank you. Wow, I don't see nobody with you to open the door for you when you're in a wheelchair. Wow. It's lonely. Nobody here to help you. Nobody here for the door. More than £5. Countertop is way above level for ADA. Yes, I'd like to make a formal complaint against Muncie Elementary School.
Okay. Have you had an opportunity to talk to the principal or any administrators at the school site regarding the issue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And was extremely disrespected. My rights under the United States Constitution were violated, and I'm extremely upset. I'm an ADA auditor. I've run into nothing but ADA problems on that campus.
Okay.
I'm the gentleman that went to the hospital via ambulance from their campus because I was blocked in by their parents and everything while taking my wife to work as a volunteer on their campus. And then today, the school security, whatever this guy is supposed to be, accosted me again. And before I could even get in the office to, make my complaint to the principal, he had already went in, beat me in there, gave her his side of the story and everything else. And when she came out to talk to me, it was non-tolerant. She didn't want to hear it. And she went as far as to say, because I am not a parent or an employee of the school, that I cannot make a complaint, which I know under my constitutional rights is not true because she's a public employee. I have a right to make a complaint, whether I'm a student, a parent, an employee at a district, which I am a volunteer with the Buena Vista Unified School District. I am a DAC representative that she just done this to. I am DAC, and she just did this to me. So, yes, ma'am. So I know policy and regulations, and that's wrong. And I can go on and on and on,
I
ma'am.
understand, but you don't have to. I would like you to speak with one of our administrators, but typically, our administrator that handles complaints, her name is Erin Johnson. I will give you her business card, but I don't believe she's in. Typically, she's out at various school sites.
I think this is something that's serious enough for her to be called in because it's gone outside of the district. They've called the Department of Human Services because my wife was one of the CalWorks volunteers. They called the worker. They caused problems there. I ended up at their office trying to find out what was going on. Collapsed in the Department of Human Services last week and had to be taken to the hospital because of these people at this school site. They are causing problems with me so bad that it's become life-threatening. I have PTSD, I have other disorders, my blood pressure normally runs high. Last week, when I was taken into the hospital, I was 247 over 130. I was on stroke alert because of that school.
And I'm sorry, may I start with your name?
Arthur Gray III. KY.
Mr. Great, the latest incident happened this morning?
This morning, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And you said you spoke to one of the administrators?
I tried to speak with the principal, and she was non-receptive to anything I had to say. She didn't want to hear it. And I'm not trying to be funny or disrespectful, but she came out looking like a straight clown. She had this black, like she was talking to some idiot or something. She had this black stuff painted all over her face and all of this stuff. And I mean, I'm standing up there talking to somebody that's about something very serious, and she has this clown stuff on, talking to me and being rude and stuff, and it just made me feel like what I was saying was frivolous to her, you know? I mean, she had this like fake mustache painted on her face, and it was just all lopsided. I mean, just looked like, you know, she just did it real quick in the office just to, you know, make me where I didn't, because I'm very personal, and I mean, I'm very direct. So she knew that I wouldn't want to talk to her like that. So it seemed like she did that just so I'd be like, oh, you know, I don't want to talk to you being funny or whatever, you know.
Or maybe he has school events or something. Maybe it's like Spirit Week. I don't know.
Yeah, come out, like, if you saw it, she should have been embarrassed to come out of her office looking like that. It was not all over her face. It was just the one squiggly line, like it was an artificial mustache. It was doing all, I mean, it was hideous. If this is what I'm dealing with, yeah, I might as well go to the district. And this is a woman that I just helped before Christmas break because they were having problems with parking and stuff like that. And a lady had parked in the handicap zone, illegally. And the principal asked her to move, and she cursed the principal out and gave the principal all kinds of problems and stuff. So the principal saw me sitting across the street in my government parked vehicle, and it's right there in Suburban. She saw me sitting across the street, and she comes over to ask for my help. I go over and I help her. No questions asked.
Okay. You're a volunteer at the school?
No, my wife was. Now she's somehow with the district or whatever in there. She's paid now. At first she was through CalWorks, but she's paid now with the district, you know. But I had a reason for being there, dropping my wife off and picking her up.
Wonderful.
Most men, and I'm terminally ill, I take my wife to work, I pick her up at lunch, I take her back after lunch, I pick her up from work, any doctor's appointments, anything done with our children and everything, even terminal, I am there. There are not many men that are there like that, you know, and for me to be treated like that coming to the site, and I'm just providing and being a husband to my wife and doing things that other men don't have the conscious mind to do, to be there for their wife, and I'm being accosted, that's not right, because it's something different.
Okay. Well, Mr. Rose just notified that our administrator just walked in.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna see if she's available to speak with you. Can you just
Yes,
hang out
ma'am.
for a moment? Okay, thank you.
And you might want to suggest to them
And
that
then here's her.
it's time for this office has been updated since 2012. So you may want to tell them they need to put an ADA counter in here because that is a violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act.
I'm not sure. I believe that typically this lower gate.
Still not low enough. It's above 36 inches. I can send you the entitlements, and even right here, this is not 56 inches. It's supposed to be a 56-inch clearance to come through here, and it's not. Like this is, it's supposed to be a clearance of so much. I'm not trying to brag, but this is my job. I'm an ADA auditor, you know, and even at the school, that's the complaint that I haven't told you, was this same gentleman that started all this stuff with me. He sees that I'm in a wheelchair. He has employees that have disabled placards park in the handicap spots so that I can't park there. You know, staff has their assigned parking and stuff. Why now, since I've started coming dropping my wife off and picking her up and I'm in a wheelchair and I'm using these spaces, why is it now that staff are parking there, leaving their vehicles there? That's for family and visitors to come and use those spaces. Staff have a parking lot. Why are they doing that?
And I think that would be also a good point for you to bring up with Ms. Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
So maybe just
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, I'm here picking up from Tammy. Tammy? Yeah. Appleby? She'll be right up. Thank you. I,
Okay. Sandra?
yeah.
Okay, I just need to take a picture of your eye. Okay, and then I'll start now. That for you. There you go.
All right, and I'm supposed to double clarify both personnel and payroll is in here.
Personnel and payroll is
Perfect.
there. Okay,
All right.
okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Gray? Oh, I have a card.
Magdalena Spears, Schofield College, gave me a little bit of information. How can I help you?
I've been constantly accosted by a staff member at Muncie Elementary School. My wife started off there as a volunteer CalWorks employee, doing the hours for, benefits and stuff. And as of recently, they've made it a paid position at part-time, whatever, because my wife is from Indiana. And she has her teaching credentials there, but the state here is different, so she has to go through her stuff to teach here. And she's in law school right now as well, but volunteering at the school. And we're both DAC members for Buena Vista Unified School District. Every time I've come to this campus, I've had ADA nightmares. I don't know if you heard, but at Muncie Elementary, right before Christmas break, there was an incident in the parking lot where I had to be taken away by emergency responders, first responders. And the problem with that was the parking situation and how they have things. The first responders could not even get to me to help me. And when they did, they had to travel by foot to get to me because it was so congested and bad. On many occasions, I've requested that there be something done about the handicap parking and people being blocked in, because even the employees, when I made this complaint, this same employee that I'm complaining about today, which I'll go into more details about his actions, he had employees that have handicap placards that was not parking in the visitor parking area in the handicap zone, start parking there, just to preclude me from being able to park there. This did not happen until after my first initial complaint.
So who's the staff member?
Yes, I don't know his name. They wouldn't even give me his name. He's a tall Hispanic guy, bald head. He's some kind of yard safety person or something. He's not even,
Okay.
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 And I mean, he's very arrogant and rude. And the first incident that we had, I did not do so. It was another parent, but because they saw me trying to get through the traffic, because they had me blocked in, he assumed
that I blew my horn and confronted me. And when I went to talk to the principal about it, I was shut down for the first time on it. I just didn't, pay any attention. It was a new school. They didn't know who I was. So I kind of shined it on, But when it happened the second time, and then this guy calls the CalWorks people on my wife, and they call her, and I'm right there sitting next to her, and they're telling her, well, if there's a problem with you and, your husband coming to the job site, this, that, and other. I've never done anything at the job site except for these things. And how many husbands do this? Terminally ill. I'm dying right now, terminal, with pulmonary fibrosis. I take my wife to that campus every morning. I come and pick her up for lunch every afternoon. I bring her back from lunch every afternoon, and I pick her up from work every evening. There's not many able-bodied men that are doing that for their wives. And not only that, I attend my children's schools events. I do all the doctor's appointments. My wife was just in the hospital over the weekend. I sit there with her, and I was in the emergency room with a blood pressure of 247 over 117 myself on stroke alert. But I put myself on hold for my wife. See, and then I have these, and just from the incident, the last incident with this guy calling the Department of Human Services or whatever he did with my wife, and the worker calling my wife, it made me so upset. When I went to the school to try and talk to the principal, he cut me off in the parking lot, would not even let me have access to the school, so I couldn't talk to the principal. So I went over to the Department of Human Services, and I tried to talk to them with no resolve. And it ended up, because I have PTSD and some hypertension issues, I ended up going to the hospital by ambulance from the Department of Human Services, trying to deal with the problem and, find out what's going on and why am I being, attacked and accosted by these staff at the school. I've never done anything or said anything. I've only tried to help them. Even when the principal came to me with a problem with a parent, she came to me across the street, not even on the school campus. She saw my government vehicle. She knows that I possess a chaplain shield for victim of crime. She came over and asked me for help. I went over and helped her in my own kindness. And now she's doing this to me?
Okay. So what are you looking for as far as a resolution?
Well, for one, they need to do something about the ADA parking there.
Okay.
Two, they need to be more courteous to the public. Three, and I have it for you if you want me to send it to you, email, whatever, they need to learn about ADA in the Constitution, right of way of passage. Even this office here, when I came in, the door is more than 5 pounds of pressure to get in here. I'm an ADA auditor. When you're coming through the walkway, it's a minimum of 56 inches. That's only about maybe 30 to get through there. So you got 2 violations that's coming in your lobby right there. And the third one is a high counter right there. It's not supposed to be more than 36 inches for a person with a disability. So I'm not trying to nitpick and stuff like that. I'm just showing you that there's things that I could be petty about, but I'm not. This is something very serious to me because I'm being accosted by this employee at this school for no reason. It's like I'm targeted. When he sees me, he knows that I'm in a wheelchair. Even the day that I was sick in my vehicle, I'm trying to get his attention because he's already complained about me blowing the horn, but he's so busy ignoring me and trying to shun me that I needed medical attention. I needed help. And he ignored me. And he was right there. I'm calling him so I don't disturb the campus of the people. And this guy is ignoring me because for some reason he don't like me. I haven't done anything to you or said anything to you. I mean, I've never done anything or said anything to this guy. And from day one.
Yeah. Okay, well, let me look into it. I need to find out
Yes, and still, I still do this to make a formal complaint because I've already talked to my attorney for concern for disability access, and I'm very right. I'm not trying to sue the school or the district or anything. 5-year drawdown suit with Kern County and won this summer. So I'm not trying to go through all that again, but I know my rights and I know that they've been violated in the United States Constitution, and I know that I'm within my rights to file suit right now for those constitutional violations. And if you would like the sites of the Constitution. And if you would like the cites of the Constitution, I'll be more than willing to give them to you.
All right. Okay. All right, and then the number. Do you have
It's on the back. It's a little,
Oh,
the 634-5578. As you can see, I'm a very busy man now.
okay. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm trying to find that. Go ahead and give me your number.
The best one is 634
Uh-huh.
5578, and I have an alternate of 314-1485, both 661. There's also an 800 number on there as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what was throwing me off.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I got it. All right, thank you, Mr. Gray.
Thank you, ma'am. And I apologize for having somebody here with a complaint like this, but you see I'm all medical up and everyone, I shouldn't have to go through this. You know, it's not right. You know, just because you personally yourself and you don't like something about this person or how they look or whatever, and you target them, that really feels targeted. I have PTSD. That's very dangerous. I have PTSD. I've served my country, and I have this guy here that's accosting me every time I turn around. I mean, if I pull up to pick up my wife, he's, you know, I haven't done anything to you. Why are you doing this to me?
All right.
Thank you, ma'am, for your time.
Oh, certainly.
See, I didn't even get a chance to get dressed. The clothes coming all off. I used to wear suspenders. I couldn't even put them on there in my truck right now. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. And thank you, ma'am, Maria. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am. I believe it may be taken care of. You know, no one should have to go through what I went through, and especially being terminally ill. You know, just dedicate my rest of my survival to my wife. You know, pick her up, take her to work, pick her up at lunch, take her back after work, pick her up from work. You know, what more can a wife ask from a husband that's terminally ill? You know, there's men that's able-bodied that's not doing that for their wives. A lot of women would like for their husbands to drop them off, pick them up for lunch, drop them back off, pick them up after work. Yeah, I mean, and they're accosting me for it. And I'm not being funny or racist or nothing, but how many black men do you see doing that for their wives or women? Yeah. Set an example. I wear a collar. I have to set the example, you know. Thank you, ma'am. God bless. Good day. And that concludes our episode with the Bakersfield City School District. Next, I believe we will be with the Kern County Superintendent of Schools. This is the Bakersfield City School District. And as you can see, employee car is still parked right here in the handicap zone. The closest one. They could have parked right here with my black Suburban as an employee. Even across the street, there's 2 spaces over there. But they don't. Look at this employee here, all busted up, sitting up here. That van. Wow, how did that thing even run? Look worse than my truck, and my truck got hit in the front. Lost the lower part of my bumper, but that's all I had to do is be snapped back on. Nothing broken on that part of it, except for the little snap rivets. My dirty, beautiful truck, fast black. She was dirty. She's beautiful though. I love this truck. And another good recording by Brothers in Motion. Continue with this ADA audit at Bakersfield City School District. You know, hopefully we got somewhere with them this time in regards to this staff member, this so-called staff member over at Muncie Elementary School, and my rights being violated
him calling people and districts and everything on me for no reason. I've never done anything to this man, never been disrespectful to him or anything. I've been accused of things, accusations made about me by this individual. He's called state agencies and everything else. And I've never said more than 2 words to this man. Well, a few words was, it was not me. I said it was not me because someone had blown their horn on the campus, even though it was after school hours. He still took it upon himself to object to it. And it was not even me. And when I explained that to him, he did not care. He still shined me on and said whatever.